So here's our contractor nightmare. It all started when my daughter's floor began to sink in her upstairs bedroom. You could see at the top of the door frame where the sinking caused the plaster to crack. I don't know how well you can see it, but the floor is actually bumped up and warped in the middle underneath her doorway. And her door that used to latch no longer latches because of the warping. You can also see in her bedroom, in the back corner where the floor began to sink, it ripped the wallpaper. It's kind of hard to catch the warping in the floor with just a picture. You kind of have to be here to see it, to see the actual indentation. So we hired a contractor to fix this, and this is what... Now this is the living room directly below my daughter's room. We hired a contractor to come in. He said by sistering all of the beams in the ceiling, her room would no longer sink after he jacked it up to where it should be. So our whole living room ceiling was torn out. He intended to put a beam across the kitchen doorway after he moved the doorway over 18 inches. You can see he started to tear the doorway apart, cut open where he would move it over 18 inches. That never happened. You can see the exposed wood. There is caulking along the top, basically to keep the cold from seeping in. Currently it's -2 degrees outside, and on days like today, it is freezing where it's not finished along the ceiling edges. You can also see he tore down the top of the wallpaper in the living room. Now this is our main room where when people come to our home, this is one of the first rooms they see. This is where we entertain guests. And it's basically a royal mess right now. As you could see from the upstairs video of my daughter's room, after he supposedly fixed it, 6 months later, everything is back to the way it was, and is now actually even worse than it was to begin with. So this is basically our contractor nightmare. We now have a torn up, unfinished living room. We cannot finish the walls because the ceiling is going to have to be torn out yet again. And somehow we need to find a solution to everything that was going on. And this is how we live.